Welcome back. Now, of course, we know we usually have the tradition of bringing you people who have exceeded expectations out there in any different industry. And of course, Uche Odoh is a Nigerian female photographer who's joining us this morning. She's also a filmmaker and a model who has been a part of many different projects since 2007. She was part of the 2007 edition of the reality TV show Amstel Malta Box Office. We also have Adesola Adeyemi, who's one of Nigeria's finest in the modeling, of course, in the modeling and fashion world. She has worked internationally with the likes of Rebecca Minkoff, Kimora Lee Simmons, Nicole Miller, NYC, and of course, she's walked the biggest stages all across the world. So let's find out more about these two lovely ladies joining us this morning. Yesterday was Women Crush Wednesday, but you know, you're still a woman crush this Thursday morning. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
All right, so so this is a crazy industry. Everybody knows, either locally or internationally. It's crazier in Nigeria, modeling, from the stories that we've heard. But I'm going to start with you, Uche. I mean, you worked with, I'm sure you worked in different industries, in fashion as well. So talk to us about what the industry is like in 2019. I know it's evolved a lot.
Am I talking from the perspective of a filmmaker or from the model's perspective?
Well, probably, you know, as a filmmaker, it's a bit different. But, you know, photography specifically now, maybe for the fashion industry.
We're in an age where everyone has access to a good camera and like their social media. So the way it was like a couple of years back is not like that anymore. Like you can become a star overnight because of Instagram, most especially, or Twitter. Anything can go viral. So it's not that hard to get into the industry anymore. And for the professionals, I think that affects your work, right? Because everyone is claiming to be
Instagram model.
Yes,
exactly.
And they're influencers and they're getting paid for it. So it's a lot easier to get into the industry now. But are you a professional? I can't answer that. But that's because of the internet, and you wouldn't even blame them.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, it looks like it's probably professionalism that's going to separate the amateurs from you know,
the people that are just starting.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
Exactly. So, I mean, welcome back home.
Thank you.
How long have you been around?
What did you say?
How long have you been in town?
I came back on Friday.
Okay,
just last week Friday.
You're just going to be around for a few days. And how's it been so far, being back home? It's
been fun. I actually miss Lagos a lot. And, you know, it's been so cold in New York. So right now I'm like getting all the old sun that I've missed. You know, because lack of sun just makes me feel depressed. And yeah, I'm back to Lagos.
Okay, well, anyway, it's springtime and pretty soon it's going to be summer. So now, leaving Nigeria and then, you know, being on an international stage, it's sort of like a culture shock and probably a transformation. So talk to us about that journey. Okay,
so I would say I already conceived the idea of going abroad to model, but I never had like a basic plan, like a right plan or anything. I just conceived it in my mind, and I would always tell my friends that I'm going to model in America. But I had like lots of criticisms like, oh, you don't know anyone, you don't have money, you know, you're studying accounting, because I was in University of Lagos. And the only thing is, like, I thrive on the criticism. Like, so when people criticize me, I just want to make them understand that I want to do this thing, and I'm going to make it. And I had friends who supported me and be like, yes, Adesola, you will. You are like everything. You're a star. You can do it, you know. So I also fed on those positivity. And I told my parents, like, okay, Daddy, I don't really want to do accounting. But they said, you're good in maths. You're a brilliant child. You have to do something professional. So I would cry. I was depressed. I was actually depressed for a while. But I knew that, okay, I'm going to do this accounting. I told my father, I said, I'm going to study accounting University of Lagos, but when I'm done, I give you the certificate and I pursue my career.
Oh, wow.
Because I've always wanted to be like a model or maybe a beauty queen. And when I finished, I studied accounting and I graduated and did my NYSC. I thought to myself, I've told all my friends, I want to go to America. I didn't have a visa. I didn't know how to get a visa, you know. I didn't know anyone there. And you know, after the NYC thing, I'd saved up. So I've been modeling in Nigeria, in Lagos, for a while. And I don't know if people would believe all my modeling money, I actually saved them in the bank. And people would make jest of me, like, you don't buy nice clothes for yourself, you don't buy bags, but they didn't know what I was looking up to. So I saved all the money. I can remember, like, especially when I started working, like I had agencies that really like pushed me for a while, because I did like some contests. I did the Nigeria's Next Supermodel, I was first runner-up. I did the Elite Model Look, I was first runner-up, and everybody's like, you never win. You know,
you're just always first runner-up.
You're just first runner-up. Yeah. But like when I joined like the Bets agency as well, like, you know, I did like some good jobs after the Elite Model Look. So like my money was bigger than what I was earning before. So I saved all the money in the bank. And when I was done, like when I checked my account, I know I had like a lot of money to be able to say, I want to process visa. I want to. So like I went through the processing of the visa, which was the tourist, you know. I got it. Luckily for me, and now to go. So I told my mom, I'm going to America, I want to serve for agencies. Right. And then she goes, no, you can't go to New York, you have to go to Atlanta, you have an auntie there. And I said, no, you're trying to control my destiny. I own my destiny.
Wow.
And I want this for myself. This is what I've conceived in my mind, because I tell people, like, your mind is actually like a god, it's powerful. As long as you've conceived it, if you believe you're gonna achieve, you know? So she called family, tell this girl not to go to New York. She does no one in New York and everything. But I was stubborn, so I went to New York. But I didn't know anything. I didn't know, like, I have to carry book, portfolio, I have to, like, you know, so many things.
So there were many things that throughout in the industry that you didn't realize.
I didn't really know, but because it's international, I didn't know, like, okay. I didn't know that, you know, I have to, like my mother agent has to place, you know, so many things. So I got to New York and I was stranded. I got out, my bank stopped working, like my bank card stopped working, and I was stranded at World Trade Center. And I said to myself, like, people were trying to help me, give me money to go to where I'm going. I'm like, how do I come back? And I said to myself, can somebody actually scout me or someone related to the industry see me and say, who are you, you know? After saying that to myself, a guy walked past me who was a photographer in New York, Tiger Zane, and he says, hey, are you a model? And I go, oh, yes, I model in Nigeria, actually, but I'm not a model yet. I'm trying to find agencies, and he gave me his card. So basically, that was the start of my journey, where he had to do my portfolio for me, because I didn't have the pictures I had. Like, you know, Nigerians would like to do too much makeup and so many things. They never want that, you know. So it did like a portfolio for me for free.
So this story, essentially, what happened was that you were stranded from the World Trade Center.
Yes.
And then somebody just
saw
you,
me.
And that's how.
Yes, and that was how I started.
Absolutely amazing. Now, Uche, I mean, you've heard this story. It was just a photographer that discovered someone. A lot of photographers have also made discoveries in Nigeria. T.Y. Bello discovered this young lady, Ola Jumoke, and all of that. Those sudden things, are they one thing? Are they things that happen once in a while, or is this something that every photographer looks forward to doing, to discovering their own superstar?
Destinies are different, you know, and they're never planned. Like, these things happen, but like as a photographer and as a filmmaker, you always see someone, you could tell whether the person would be a star. Like, I feel like every photographer and like every filmmaker has that. Like, when you see someone, you can tell, okay, this person has like an aura, this person has like a vibe that will cut across when you photograph them, or like when you film them. So you know, it's always there at the back of your mind to discover a star. So whenever it happens, it happens.
And then, you know, it's credited
to you,
and
you just
I found her and
you just you're the person's helper. Everybody needs a helper once in a while.
Very nice, very nice. Look, the age of social media, things are moving pretty fast and things are changing, but your story is very remarkable and actually very inspiring. That, you know, you can just have that kind of vision in your heart, take that step.
Like, I went to New York too, but that didn't happen for me. Probably because I was too short.
You stand by the train station with a camera around your neck and say, are you a photographer, you know? No,
like when I used to model, I actually moved to New York for like couple of months, but I wasn't going to model. I just wanted to figure things out. But this didn't happen. This was a better story. So
it's a beautiful story. I heard another story like that about someone who went to Hollywood and, you know, somebody just stepped up to them.
Yeah, that happens.
And all of that, you know. Amazing, and these are remarkable stories. So, I mean, you being in Nigeria, inspiring other younger models. If there was a 17-year-old watching you right now, what would you say? she or he is a model, or they're thinking about being a model and going in this direction?
I would tell them to, like, firstly, for you to be, because the modeling industry is another kind of world where you have to know how to deal with rejection.
It's a crazy world, crazy world, yeah.
Like, you get rejected every time. So you have to be mentally stable. Like, ask yourself, am I mentally stable? Am I too sensitive?
Yeah.
Am I ready to face these people, to talk to me straight to my face? I know I'm beautiful, but someone can bring you down and it can affect your mind. And two, you have to also believe in yourself, know your strength, know your weakness, know your opportunities, you know? So, like, am I what to be a model? Like, everybody wants to be a model. Everybody wants to be an Instagram model. Everybody wants to be seen on TV. But you have to also know, like, what qualities do I have to be able to qualify as this? So those are the things I would tell them. And then know how to make research. I get tired of people messaging me and saying, oh, please help my life, help me. And I'm like, I did lots of research. So you have to know how to do research as well. Don't just depend on people.
Amazing, amazing.